It's Elizabeth with t0inky TV, and I'm here to do a recap of episode 19 of My Love from Another Star. So the prologue and the epilogue of this story has Ho-kyung, who did The Adventures of Honggil-dong, which is a very famous Korean folk tale. And so Ho-kyung is Do Manager's friend way back in the Joseon era, and Ho-kyung is saying that Do Manager, even though with all his special powers and everything, he is going to fall in love with a woman and reveal everything and give up everything for this woman. And Do Manager's like, no, people think I'm weird when I show my powers, and you know, I'm going back to my home planet. I know better than to fall in love. That's what he says 400 years ago. Little does he know that he's going to meet Chung Sung-yi. So in the last episode, you see Chung Sung-yi waiting for Do Manager at his place and then rifling through his things and going through his journal where she reads that he might die if she stays on this planet. So she's sobbing, she calls lawyer Jang to discuss this possibility that Do Manager won't exist if he stays on this planet and doesn't go back to his own planet. So he actually says, yeah, he's been getting colder and hotter. His powers have been kind of flickering on and off since he's met Chung Sung-yi. And then he also said, you don't even know how much this man loves you. He has gone through so much holding back, loving you, but he loves you so much that he's willing to give up all of this for you. And this gets Chung Sung-yi thinking, which can be a dangerous thing. So then you see Hee-kyung and Do Manager team up again to try and capture the evil Ji-hyun. And so you see them setting up a scene where Hee-kyung is pretending to be drunk, and then Ji-hyun holds a dart gun to his head and says that, you know, maybe you'll just have to go the way that eldest brother and Yura went, which is kind of like this drug that kind of feigns suicide. So, but little does Ji-hyun know that Do Manager switches the table on him, and so Ji-hyun gets arrested, but then Ji-hyun's like, oh, you guys can't hold me, and plus this is a terrible mistake because I've got Chung Sung-yi where I want her. So during this, Ji-hyun kind of has Do Manager between a rock and a hard place. But this is where Do Manager lets loose everything. He throws Ji-hyun into the crowd, he zaps away after he freezes time, and when he comes back, he's getting punched by Hee-kyung because Hee-kyung just can't stand his brother anymore because he's just causing so much grief to everybody. Where does Do Manager go? He goes to save Chung Sung-yi because Ji-hyun had poisoned the wine and set up this like pseudo date, pretending that Do Manager's gonna be there. So Chung Sung-yi's like, why are you there? And all of a sudden, she's out like a light. And then Do Manager is creating havoc left and right. First, dropping in out of nowhere at the restaurant. Then, at the hospital, he's also just kind of creating some mischief there. Well, not really mischief. He's actually saving Chung Sung-yi and saving her, getting her back. And then when she's finally back and cognizant, he zaps them to a totally different place, high up on the mountaintop. She thinks that they're on this alien planet. She's like, oh, you know, I think I can survive here. He's like, oh my gosh, we're not back on the alien planet. We're just at a rooftop, we're at a mountaintop. So the internet, the press, it's going bonkers over Chung Sung-yi. First, Ji-hyun is supposedly the murderer of Yura, so people are sympathizing with Chung Sung-yi for being wrongly accused. And also now she has a superpower boyfriend. So I'm kind of wondering, how are they going to do this storyline later on? You know, for me, I'm kind of thinking, well, maybe they'll do like a reality TV and say, oh yeah, it was just kind of a hoax, ha ha ha. You know, I don't know what they're gonna do, but it will be very interesting how the writer will tie up this kind of loose end with Do Manager just blowing his cover wide open. So while Chung Sung-yi and Do Manager are up on the mountaintop, she's giving this very long speech where she holds Do Manager's face in her hand and like kind of just does this very long speech about how she loves him and wants to give up everything for him, and very romantic voice. And then he's like, I agree. And she's like, oh my gosh, you're not supposed to just say that. You're supposed, when a woman like bears her entire soul, you have to, and that's where he swoops in for the kiss. And then you know what happens when he kisses her. Yes, he's then ill, sick, not doing well. But it's so cute because it's like it's just such a funny little thing that they keep throwing into the storyline. So it's just a very cute, endearing, adorable time that Chung Sung-yi and Do Manager have yet again. Kind of like another romantic getaway, like seriously getting away from people. And I think that the writers are doing this because they know that we, the public, the audience, want to see Chung Sung-yi and Do Manager have more romantic times together. So while Jae-kyung is in jail, Hee-kyung is trying to convince his father that Jae-kyung is just an evil boy, or at least psycho, maybe not truly evil, but definitely not mentally balanced. And so, you know, the dad wants to hear nothing about it, but then Hee-kyung's like, okay, well then I'll drink the drink that Jae-kyung gave to Chung Sung-yi. And so he's about to take a sip, the dad grabs and throws the glass away, and so you know that the dad knows that Jae-kyung's not right in the head. And then when he plays the recording, when Hee-kyung plays the recording of the older brother begging Jae-kyung for his life, that's where the dad just completely loses it. So any shred of whisper of, you know, like thread that he's hanging on that Jae-kyung was semi, you know, normal, could hold it together, just totally broke, and he just broke down. And so during this romantic time that Chung Sung-yi and Do Manager are together, they talk about children together. They have these very dreamy, I'm gonna have 7 kids with you and a couple of dogs. We're gonna live in the countryside. And the whole time she's taking pictures of him when he's eating ramen, taking pictures of this and that. And basically she's trying to capture moments of time with Do Manager, because after he proposes and says that he wants to be with her, she tells him that he needs to go back to his home planet to exist somewhere, so that way she knows that he didn't give up his life for her. And that was just like, oh, it was so romantic. It was such a noble gesture, and it was so like, yeah, noble love at its best. And the thing is that I don't think that the writers have really honed in on this fact, and I haven't heard this from any of the other commentaries, is that Chung Sung-yi would have died when she was 12 years old by being run over, the time at the cliff, and also just now with the wine poisoning. So had it not been for Do Manager, she would have been gone a long time ago. So she's really kind of on borrowed time, or, you know, time that Do Manager has given to her. And so I think, you know, time is so short that she's treasured this moments with Do Manager, and now she's letting him go back to his home planet so that he could live out and exist his life. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked this K-drama review, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks. Bye.